life in the Philippines. In some countries, they don't have access to certain information because of government censorship. So what happens is there's people in some large countries, such as China, where they don't have information about UFOs or extraterrestrials or anything that the government censors. The media just doesn't air any information on the subject, so it won't be on the television, might be censored from the internet, and the government won't talk about it. So I just had an interesting conversation with someone in China, and they were asking about UFOs. They wanted me to explain what I knew about them. And they had a document which was about the asteroid that just came to our solar system. And I told them some of the big cases, like Betty and Barney Hill, Bob Lazar. So I've mentioned a few of the big items, but most of us have already read these stories, heard about them many times, and there's some places where people have not heard about them. So it's not going to be just this subject matter. It could be any subject matter. Anything can be censored. For example, things are censored in the United States also, which is something that we all learned in the past few years, which is why this video will probably get banned just because I said the word censored. So that's how it is on YouTube. And people don't know that they're being censored because you can't find the information. I'm going to use an example. The moon landing, you used to be able to find information on the internet about the moon landing hoax. But what happened was, because the internet spread the information, NASA started demanding that everyone take down any evidence of a moon landing hoax. So if you went looking for it, you wouldn't be able to find it anymore. And at the time, the biggest company was Yahoo, and they took all the information down. So when I went back to try and read it again, it wasn't there anymore. And it was literally in the news. They were talking about the hoax and about how NASA was upset that it was spreading on the internet. And that's what happens. And to be honest, the people who claimed it was a hoax, they made a lot of valid points, and I'd rather see what they have to say than have it not be there. Some search engines are very censored, and you can't find anything. So I actually go to other search engines. I just wanted to find English books to teach students, to teach English. And on the censored search engine, it kept showing the same sites over and over again. And I said, okay, I know there's something wrong. If you type it in, free English book, free English PDF, free PDF, and it's always the same website over and over again, then you know that there's something going on. There's no website that's so great that their English books are amazing that it has to come up for every search, and it wasn't even a good website. And I switched to another website, and I was able to find what I was looking for a lot easier. So that's an example. What this video is about is that there are some things that are just censored. When I was in Colombia, I made a suggestion to one of my employees who was a woman. I said, you shouldn't hire someone just because they're a man or a woman. You should hire them because of their abilities and skills. And she said to me, you listen to your government propaganda. She thought that my opinion on hiring people based on their skills was United States government propaganda. And I didn't argue with her or anything like that. I probably just told her, no, that's my opinion. It's not government propaganda. But that is what she believed. So that's something that you're going to experience. For example, in one country, they'll write the history one way, and in another country, they'll write the opposite. And it's going to be same within the United States. If you look at something like Civil War history, in the South, they're going to tell one story, and in the North, they're going to tell a different story. The same is going to be true between the U.S. and Canada, the U.S. and England. For example, the Revolutionary War, they call Benedict Arnold a hero, and the United States calls him a traitor. He was a British, as far as I know, he was a British general. So is he a traitor? I mean, what he did was against the Americans, but he was a British general as far as I recall. So in that sense, he isn't. And there are going to be situations, especially with some of the highly censored countries, where there's a lot of things that they have no idea about, especially if it involves their own country. And I'm going to tell you, the United States, going back to when we were kids, censored a lot. There's a lot of things that you're not going to find in the American media. This is what you do. You go to Google News and you search, and if it shows only foreign newspapers, then you know it's censored in your country. So the topic of the video is that some people are unaware of certain subject matter because of where they live, and sometimes you're going to confront someone who just doesn't know about something. I'll use another example. I used to live in an island called Lapu-Lapu. They believe that Magellan was trying to invade the Philippines, which is just absolutely not true. But they teach it, and they teach Europeans, they call them invaders, and they have it on the statues. It says Lapu-Lapu saved the Philippines from the European invasion. He repelled the European invasion. I mean, it's just absolute nonsense. They had, like, I don't know, 20 guys, and Lapu-Lapu had 1,000, and the Philippines has thousands of islands to call. And he was just there to demand money. He wasn't there to invade. He's not going to occupy. So that sort of thing exists in different countries. And if you go ask the people that live there, they're not going to believe your history. They're going to believe their history. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.